Hi there. Thank you for watching the Mount Royal instructional video on how to install this beautiful 6x8 Eastern White Cedar fence. The video clip you're about to see has been taken indoor and is dramatized to give you a complete perspective of how to install this professionally. Please view the PDFs on Costco.ca to see how to lay out your post holes and set your posts. When installing your first panel, always ensure that your posts are 96 inches inside to inside. Use a 2-inch piece of wood to run over your post hole that you can set your bottom rail on. This 2-inch gap will help you for trimming and other landscaping purposes. Also, when starting to install your first panel, make sure that you're installing from the highest point of your property. This will help you step the panels so that your job looks more consistent. First, you're going to install your bottom bracket into the cemented post. You're going to use two 2.5-inch lathe screws to fasten the bracket head to the post. Proceed to the other side with the same procedure. Now you're going to place your bottom rail into place, starting by sliding the rail into the bracket of the cemented post. Proceed to the other side, and feel free to use a hammer or a rubber mallet to ensure that the bottom rail is resting completely on the bottom of the bracket. It's also important here to use a block of wood to support the center of the rail, and level this bottom rail to make sure that it is completely straight, as this is going to be the foundation of your fence job. Next, you're going to use your 5/8 stainless screws, and you're going to screw into the bottom hole of the bracket. Do this on both sides of the bracket. Please ensure that you do not screw it in the top hole, as that may affect how the boards fit into the groove. Next, you're going to use your first row of 5 boards. These are V-match boards that are just pushed together for packaging purposes. You can install one at a time if you'd like, but to speed up the process, you can do 5 at a time. Ensure that your first board on the end of these has the tongue cut off. This will allow the boards on the bottom row to fit flush against your cemented post. Moving along, it makes it easier to slide these 5 boards at a time when you lean them back as you're pushing them in the groove, and then pushing them forward and tapping them on the end as shown in that macro clip. Grabbing your last row of 5 boards, ensure that the groove is cut off on that last board so it fits flush against the post that is not concrete in the ground. Ensure that all of the boards have fit into the groove of the bottom rail. Next, you're going to take your first mid-rail. Please make sure that the pre-drilled hole is on the top. You're going to take your time sliding this mid-rail over the row of bottom boards and ensure that all of the boards have slid into the rail. Level your rail and ensure that the rail is centered in the post. Using your 2.5-inch zinc-coated screw, anchor the mid-rail into the post through the pre-drilled hole. Using your next row of 5 boards, ensure that the tongue is cut off on the end board so it fits flush to the post that is concreted. Proceed installing 5 at a time using the technique of rolling it back, sliding it forward, and then tapping on the end to ensure that the grooves are interlocked. Again seen here. With the last row of 5 boards, ensure that the groove is cut off so that board fits flush to the post that is not concrete into the ground. Using a hammer or a rubber mallet, ensure that all the boards have slid nicely into the mid-rail. This will make sure that your next rail, when it fits on top, it will fit on flush. Now installing the second mid-rail, I want you to make sure that the pre-drilled hole is on the top. Starting on one end, preferably the end where the post is concrete into the ground, work your way up to the other post, tapping the rail into place. Grab your level to make sure that the mid rail is level, and also so that no boards are sticking out to put it out of whack. Center the rail into the post and anchor it with your 2.5-inch zinc coated screw. Do the same on the other side. Center your rail to the post and proceed to anchor the screw. Now you're going to be installing your lattice. Be careful with the lattice as it is quite fragile. From one side, slide the lattice into the groove and make sure that the lattice is on the end, touching the ends of your posts. Now, in that clip that was just shown, you can put your top rail on to ensure where your bracket is going to fit. That's what I would recommend. And then mark the placement. Proceed to use the 2 lathe screws to screw your bracket into place, ensuring that it's in the center of the post. Perform the same procedure on the other side. Now you're going to be placing your top rail on top of the lattice. Starting from one side, nice and easy, slowly move the top rail down, and if you need to, you can use a rubber mallet or a hammer and tap it into place. And this is an interesting technique. If your lattice had accordioned up, you can grab a hold of it and push it towards the post nice and gently. Using your 5/8 stainless screws, screw them through the bottom hole in the bracket. Proceed to do the same to the other side and then on the back of the fence. Now you're going to be nailing on your cedar slats. Wood is a natural material and will shrink and expand due to the amount of moisture in the air to try and equilibrate with its environment. These slaps will prevent gaps showing up over time. Do the same to your top row. 3 nails in the top, middle, and bottom, and then on the other side and on the back of the fence. To add the nice finishing touch, place your pyramid caps in place. You can either nail these from the top or you can glue them. And there you have it, your Mount Royal premium kiln dried Eastern White Cedar Fence. Thanks for watching.